Hi students, welcome you all again. Okay, so now the class is live. Good evening everyone. Okay, now okay, so welcome to all for live classes. And from so many days I was little bit free from the classes because I was not taking classes for you because of all your decisions that has to be taken from the Karnataka board as well as management. So now we can carry our classes daily at 6 o'clock. So daily at 6 o'clock the compulsory there will be a class, and today I am going to start one very important as well as and which is going to have very high percentage of marks in your second year board exam as well as second year CET exams. So in IIT mains and NDA, KCET, in those all aspects, the chapter which I am going to start now is always has its own weightage. Okay, so this particular chapter is going to have very high weightage of marks in every aspect. It may be board exam, it may be JEE exams, it may be KCET exams, or it may be NDA exams. Okay, so that is what the main reason to start this chapter at the first. Okay, so you can also learn more and more, and you can also practice more, so that if you practice more then it is going to be very easy for you as you go for competitive as well as board exams. So in that way of strategies I have started this chapter. So that is your indefinite integrals. Okay, so this indefinite integrals is a very big concept as well as very important concept, as well as it is going to be a very big impact on all the concepts that you learn in future. Okay, so that's why this indefinite integrals is going to have its own impact on your studies. So that's why please be careful. Why? Because I will give only one example of your board exam. In your board exam what happens, you just see. In your board exam there will be 1 mark 1 question, 2 mark 2 questions, 3 mark 2 questions, 5 mark 1 question, and 6 mark 1 question from this indefinite integrals. You can say it as indefinite as well as definite integrals, no problem. Otherwise okay, properties of indefinite integrals means no problem. So now see here, 1 plus 2 plus 2, that means 5, 5 plus 3 8, 8 plus 3 11, 11 plus 6, 11 plus 5 16, 16 plus 6, total 22 marks of weightage. Okay, so this single chapter is going to have 22 marks in your board exam. 22 marks in your board exam. This is first very important point. Okay, and next important point is from your CET. So in KCET maximum you can expect 3 to 4 questions. 3 to 4 questions from this particular concept. Clear? In JEE also you are going to have 2 to 3 questions. 2 to 3 questions. Are you getting my point? So that's why this particular chapter is going to be really very important for all of you. So that's why please concentrate on this. Try to practice more in this particular chapter. Only thing is formulas. This chapter is full of formulas. Okay, clear? How much formulas practice you are going to make, that much good you are going to be at your this particular concept, formulas as well as tricks. Okay, so formulas, this you have to practice by your own. Tricks I will teach you, don't worry, so that when you combine both formulas as well as tricks, you can score good marks. Okay, so this chapter is not theoretical chapter. This is almost 99% of a problematic chapter. So that's why this problematic chapter is going to be very interesting. Don't worry, I will give some tricks. I will solve so many number of problems so that you feel easy whenever you go for solving the concepts in this chapter. Okay, so good evening to everyone. I think all of you are very much fine and so much interested in the classes which I am going to take from today. Okay, so every day 6 p.m. Okay, please make in your mind one note, that is every day 6 p.m. Clear? So every day 6 p.m. there will be a classes, and unless and until I complete this chapter, I am going to take every day. After that I will go for the CET problems on this particular chapter. Clear? Okay, so now let us go through the concepts, and I wish you all the very best for your second year journey, and I also wish you all the best for your future and your preparation of your board exam, NDA, KCET, JEE mains. Do well. God bless you all. Be healthy as well as be safe. Okay, so from today try to practice more and more, try to read more and more, and be to the point. Okay, so now we can start the chapter from introduction. Now we can start the chapter from introduction. Okay, so here you just see what is your integration or indefinite integration. What is your integration or what is your indefinite integrals? Okay, so here indefinite integral means, see, in differential calculus we have learned the method of finding the differential coefficient of a given function. That means in your 11th class you have studied limits and derivatives. Okay, so on the same way here you are going to learn integration. So integration or indefinite integral means it is the continuation of your differential calculus. That means it is the continuation of your limits and derivatives. Okay, so here what happens, you just see this limits and derivatives you have learned in 11th class. Okay, so this is going to be continued here with the concept that is integration, or you can also say it as indefinite integrals. Okay, so limits and derivatives. In the limits and derivatives you have learned what is differentiation of sin x, what is differentiation of cos x, what is differentiation of tan x, that all things you have learned. So quickly tell me, what is differentiation of sin x? Quickly, all of you should be very concentrating as well as very active. You should reply for my particular questions. Okay, so please tell me what is differentiation of sin x. See here, the differentiation of sin x means nothing but d by dx of sin x. D by dx of sin x is what? Cos x. That means the differentiation of sin x is cos x. On the same way, you also learnt about the differentiation of cos x. What is differentiation of cos x? Minus sin x. Okay. So this all things you have learnt in 11th class in the chapter limits and derivatives. So that I continue here with your integration. Okay. So that is what they are saying here. In differential calculus, we have learnt the method of finding the differential coefficient. See this. Finding the differential coefficient means the differential coefficient of sin x is cos x. The differential coefficient of cos x is minus sin x. So these all things we have already learned from the previous year, that is 11th class. Okay. So that means now you just see here, thus we write d by dx of f of x is g of x. That means d by dx of sin x is cos x. Okay. That means here f of x is sin x, g of x is cos x. Okay. F of x is sin x, g of x is cos x. Clear? That means the differentiation of f of x is g of x. Okay. It means that we can find g of x when f of x is given. So my dear students, have some patience and understand here what they are telling. It means we can find g of x. We can find g of x. This g of x. Okay. When the f of x is given. When the f of x is given. Okay. See here. What is f of x? This is our f of x. So when the f of x is given, we can find g of x. When the f of x is given, we can find g of x. When the sin x is given, we can find cos x. When the sin x is given, we can find cos x by differentiating this. Okay. That is what they are telling. Now you see, now can we find f of x when g of x is given? That means what they will give? They will give g of x directly. They will give g of x directly. Now you have to find f of x. Okay. That means what they will tell? The differentiation of f of x is cos x. The differentiation of f of x is cos x. Now using this cos x, they are asking you to find what is this f of x. What is this f of x? Are you getting my point? Using this cos x, they are telling you to find what is f of x. Okay. So is this possible? Is this possible? That is the question. Okay. That means when the g of x is given, when the differential coefficient is given, can we find the original function? See, when the cos x is given, can we find f of x? That is the question. Okay. So now to find answer for this, we go for integration. Okay. See here. Yes, we can find the f of x. When the cos x is given. Okay. So then the question is, how can we find the f of x? When the cos x is given? This is the beautiful question that arises. So quickly give me thumbs. All of you are following the class. If all of you are understanding the class, if all of you are understanding the concepts. So quickly give me the thumbs so that I can understand you are concentrating on the class, you are understanding the class, and you are following what I am saying. Okay. So quickly give me thumbs so that I can understand. So here now we got the answer, that is we can find the f of x when the d by dx of f of x is equal to cos x is given. Okay. So how to solve that and how to find the f of x is the question. How to find the cos x or how to find the f of x is the question. Clear? So for that, what happens here? You just see, we find antiderivative. We find antiderivative. That means antiderivative is the answer to the question, which is the inverse process of differentiation. Which is the inverse process of differentiation. That means you just see here, when the d by dx of f of x is equal to cos x is given, now I want to find f of x. Now I want to find f of x. That is what my first question. So if I want to find my f of x, what I should solve? I should solve antiderivative. What is antiderivative? It is the inverse process of differentiation. It is the inverse process of differentiation. That means when I differentiate f of x, I get cos x. So now when I go in the inverse process, when I find the antiderivative of f of x, antiderivative of cos x, I will get f of x. When I solve the antiderivative of cos x, I will get f of x. Are you clear? So this is the two-way process. That means the first process is, say, process 1. Process 1 is d by dx of f of x. That is your g of x. This is one-way process. And the process 2 see, in the process 2 what we do? We go from g of x towards f of x. We go from g of x towards f of x. That means antiderivative of g of x gives us f of x. Antiderivative of g of x gives us f of x. Is it clear? So that means the only way to find the differential coefficient is we have to find the antiderivative. We have to find the antiderivative. So quickly, all of you give me smiles if you understood what I said. Quickly give me smiles, thumbs. Okay, so that if you have understood this or if you have any doubts, you can ask. If you are in confusion, you can clear them, or if you are happy, you can give the smiles so that I can go for the next concept. Okay, so now you just see, what is antiderivative? Antiderivative is nothing but your indefinite integrals. This is nothing but your indefinite integrals. Okay, so now clearly you can fix in your mind, indefinite integral means it is the inverse procedure of differentiation. It is the inverse procedure of differentiation. Please understand. Okay, so the indefinite integral is nothing but your antiderivative. Indefinite integral is nothing but your antiderivative. Okay, so next you can also see antiderivative is also known as primitive. Antiderivative is also known as primitive. Okay, so here primitive, your indefinite integral and antiderivative all are same. All are same. Antiderivative means indefinite integral, indefinite integral means primitive, primitive means antiderivative, antiderivative means indefinite integral. Okay, so all these words are giving the same meaning. All these words are giving the same meaning. Okay, now let us go to understanding of the concept, the theoretical understanding of the concept. Okay, see here what I do. First, I will differentiate my body. Okay, this is some example. This is some example to understand what is integration. This is some example for what to understand what is integration. See, I differentiate my body. That means all of you know that the differentiation means, it is intersecting the given interval, or it is dividing the given interval in so many number of parts, okay. So this is A, this is B. So this interval is divided into so many number of parts, okay. That is what your differentiation, that you have learnt in your 11th class, okay. So now d by dx of my body, that means the differentiation of body will give you cell. Clear? Whenever you differentiate or whenever you do the parts of the given body, you are going to get the cell from any body, okay. So now you are going to get the cell. This is 100% sure. If you dissect any body, or if you dissect any small body that you get, you are going to get the cell from that particular body. Okay. So now what happens if I do antiderivative, or if I do indefinite integral, or if I do integration? Now if I do the integration of this cell, I am going to get what I will get. You just see. If I do the integration of the cell, you will get my body. That means this is one way and this is the another way. This is inverse process. And this is one way process. Okay. Clear? So now when I am going to come in reverse or inverse process, when I integrate my cell, I should get my body. Okay. But you just see here, what happens here, you may get my hand, but you are not going to get my complete body. Whenever you are going to differentiate, here you are going to differentiate my complete body, okay, so that you are going to get the cell. Now what you are going to do, you are going to collect those cells somewhere here. And now if you do the integration of one cell from this, what you may get? You may get my hand. Next you see, you may get my leg. Next you see, you may get my organs, okay. But here you are not 100% sure. That by integrating the cell, you are going to get particularly the organ. You can't say you will get the leg. You can't say you will get the hand, okay. But whenever you are going to do the differentiation, it is fixed that you will get cell. But when you do the integration of the cell, it is in different types. See, you may get hand, you may get leg, you may get organ. That means it is not fixed. Okay. You may get different types of organs. Clear? So that's why what we say, we can't predict that the cell is of my hand or my leg or my organ, okay. So here you can't predict the cell. And you are going to say that it is the cell of hand, it is the cell of leg, it is the cell of one of the organ. Like that you can't tell, okay. So that's why it is called indefinite integration. That's why it is called as indefinite integration in the language of calculus. Okay. Why it is called indefinite? For that, this is the answer. By differentiation of my body, you will get the cell, but the cell which you got, if you do the integration of that, it is not predictable that it is going to give the leg, it is going to give the hand, or it is going to give the organ. It may give anything, because by looking at cell, you can't, by integrating at the cell, you can't tell that I will get definitely hand, definitely I will get leg, definitely I will get organ. That we can't tell, that we can't predict. So that's why we say it is indefinite. That's why we say it is indefinite. Okay. So that's why we call it as indefinite integration. Okay. So quickly tell me, all of you, have you understood this? Have you understood this? Quickly tell me. All of you quickly tell me, have you understood this? So I think all of you have understood what is indefinite integration. What is indefinite integration? Okay. So my dear students, I have given one practical example. Now I will give one mathematical example. One mathematical example I will give you. See, one mathematical example means the differentiation of sin x is cos x. The differentiation of sin x is cos x. So all of you now know that the integration of cos x with respect to dx is the inverse process of d by dx of sin x. See, integration of cos x is now the inverse process or the reverse process of the differentiation of sin x. Differentiation of sin x. Okay. So now already I know this. I know that the differentiation of sin x is cos x. So now tell me, what must be the integration of cos x? What must be the integration of cos x? Quickly tell me. So by getting the answers, we shall end this class. From tomorrow, I will going to be continuing for 1 hour class, so that you will also have the complete idea. Okay. So today I am going to end with the answer of integration of cos x. So from tomorrow we can continue. Okay. So quickly tell me, all of you, what is integration of cos x? I will not tell the answer. If you know the concept, you only can tell, because as I said, differentiation of sin x gives you cos x. Now the integration of cos x must in the reverse process. What it must give? Very good. What it must give? Tell me the answers. What it must give? Tell me the answers. Only one answer I got. Only Sneha has given the answer. What about others? Tell me, what will be the reverse process? What will be the inverse process of this particular procedure or this particular example? Okay. So all must give the answer. All must give the answer. All must give the answer. Very good. Very good. See, the integration of cos x is going to be sin x. The integration of cos x is going to be sin x. Very good. Very good. Not minus sin x, it is plus sin x. Keep in mind, integration of cos x is plus sin x. Some of you are telling minus sin x. It is not minus sin x. Differentiation of cos x is minus sin x. D by dx of cos x is minus sin x, but integration of cos x is plus sin x. And you see here, this is indefinite. This is indefinite. Okay. So this is indefinite means here we should write plus c. Here we should write plus c. If we write plus c, then the answer is complete. Then the answer is complete. Okay. Why should we write plus c? Because this process is indefinite. This process is indefinite. As I explained with the cell and body. Here the procedure is indefinite. That's why we say plus c. Exactly sin x we are not going to get. We are going to get sin x plus c. Okay. So therefore this is the introduction of your indefinite integration, and tomorrow I am going to continue with the constant of integration. Constant of integration means this C. Okay, with this I am going to continue tomorrow. Clear? So I'll continue it tomorrow, and all of you, I think all of you are getting very interest in this concept. So quickly tell me, everyone, are you happy with these concepts? Are you understanding the concepts? Quickly give me smiles, thumbs. Okay, so that I can also understand, all of you are interested, all of you are following the class, and everyone should attend the class. Everyone must attend the class. If you are not going to attend, anyways the consequences are going to be there. Okay, so I feel that all of you are very happy with this, so that we can continue tomorrow. Okay, so thank you, and let us meet tomorrow in the live class at 6 p.m. and we can continue with constant of integration. Constant of integration means this C is called as constant of integration. Okay, so thank you, be safe, and be happy. Okay, and bye.